they do let him buy them, he files some ridiculous class action lawsuit, and who the other people in this class action lawsuit are never revealed.
Yes.
And it always fails. And
he just makes a hard time for everybody in the industry.
But a judge in Florida actually sued him and made him disbarred. Basically means he can't practice law in the state of Florida anymore because, and he also fined.
But I wonder if he could practice. I wonder if he could actually practice law in other states and harass people for other things. Actually, he kind of looks like a dried up salamander. Can we take a shot at him? Can we go to the gamer's voice and take a quick look at him? If you guys don't know what Jack Thompson looks like,
this is actually really funny.
He does like what they do to like the gross, like the newsstands and stuff. How like they send young kids in to buy cigarettes.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah. He's one of those guys.
This is not heavy. I mean, that's pretty bad because like you shouldn't be smoking. But this mongrel of a guy here who needs a total haircut. Is just ridiculous. He just harasses everybody in the game industry. He takes no responsibility whatsoever for people's actions. I mean, listen, stop blaming video games. There's no reason to keep blaming video games. And this guy is looking for stuff in the gaming industry so that way he can put a damper on our gaming day.
Bam, that's Jack Thompson. He's a fucking tool.
Yeah, and he's Jack the Jerkoff Thompson.
And he's every gamer's enemy. He's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
He should just fucking die. There's actually
send him some hate mail, everybody. You should just send him hate mail. We hate you at jackthejerkoffThompson.com.
Oh, yeah. Mark Returns actually talking about, we actually talked about this a few weeks ago. During the Metal Gear Solid 4 launch in Japan, some guy took a knife and started slashing people.
Yeah.
That is true.
But that guy was, he had some deep-seated problems way before, because if you read the whole article on him...
didn't he just kill his kids or something?
No, what happened was he was posting on forums and stuff. He's like, I'm tired of the good guy winning. He's like an MMORPG freak. He was like a total like anime like everything. When they searched his house, they saw just pictures of anime and naked anime girls and everything, drawings. Yeah, but it was like next level. So like he was just like demented already. He had post up. He's like, I will make history. I will make history. So he was already had a twisted sense of reality, and that game, even though it just so happened because he wanted to make a big disturbance, so obviously he's going to do an Akihabara, Akihabara.
That sounds like, did you hear about that mother that bought guns for her kids so he could shoot up the school?
Yeah. What? I mean, it's just, they're just twisted people in already that obviously have some deep-rooted issues at that point, where they're just using, and then guys like Jack Thompson, who want to make that cash money, are looking to cash in on these bigger companies who are putting out games for our entertainment. And if he gets away with stuff like that, it makes it 1,000 times worse for us.
It does.
1,000 times worse, because now we can't get the games we want here. They get censored to death. Gamers get a bad rap all the time. Like, oh, you play those games, I bet you're an extra violent guy. I bet I won't want my daughter hanging around old school fool who plays video games. Stupid. So yeah, Jack the Jerkoff Thompson is good for no one. And if somebody's gonna commit a crime because of video games, it's because they fucking need their head checked to begin with.
Well, no, he's actually fined some exorbitant sum of money, like nuisance charges. The judge fined him. I don't know how he's gonna pay them, but I mean,
Herb.
What's next?
He's definitely fined.
Tell me what's next. He's gonna get disbarred from the entire state. Now that I gotta see.
He's gonna get disbarred from the world. He's gonna dry up like that salamander in Florida, sitting on the coast somewhere in some beach chair, drinking gin and tonic while you
sipping on gin and juice.
Yeah, sitting there drying.
my mind.
You better not wind up in the bad neighborhood, because I know bad neighborhoods. Central.
Don't be a menace to South
Wait, there's
Central
two
drinking juice in the hood.
You seen that, Lonnie?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good movie.
That was a great movie.
It is good. Alright. Next, what else we got? Oh, yes. Interplay. Little news on Interplay. I don't know if you guys remember Interplay. Interplay was a company back in the... Oh, they've been around for a while, but they became pretty popular in the mid-90s. For a game, they were responsible for Super Nintendo. They capitalized on fighting games called Clay Fighter.
Yeah, I'm going to pull up a quick video.
Now, if you guys remember that or have never seen it before, here's a quick video of Clay Fighter. And I must say that I'm a big fighting game fan, that Clay Fighter is probably the worst fighting game of all time.
Hey!
But, here we go.
Does it work? Oh, it works! Here we go. This is
Check, listen to this music. It's great. Here it goes.
Shut up! Sorry. From the top.
Dude, I love this game. The reason I love this game is not because of the fighting. Because as a fighting game, the game kind of sucked. It was just like, it didn't really control that well at all, to be honest with you. I mean, compared to other fighting games, it didn't control it at all. But the claymation was superb. Like, the graphics and the clay, it literally really looked like clay characters. Like, I was so impressed with how like, robust and, like, solid and crisp the graphics were for a Super Nintendo for its time. It was awesome. And it was so comical to just play this game and watch this guy, for instance, just like, Blue Sweet Goo, like a clay, like, fat Elvis before he ate too many bananas.
What's the hair, man?
You can throw music notes, you got Helga, now over to the fact that he sings. But it was just, like, so many cool references in this game, and it was like, I mean, if you could actually learn how to play this game fairly well, and you could beat it, it just didn't control well. It was just a really shitty controlling game. But it was a cool game because it was so original that even though it didn't play well, excuse me, it's a little bit of South America there. Even though it didn't play that well, it actually had just so much entertainment value to it that it became an instant hit overnight.
Yeah, it was like a cult classic.
Yeah, it became like a cult classic game. And people were like, oh, what the hell is this Clay Fighter? And then they came out with Clay Fighter Tournament Edition. Then they came out with Clay Fighter 2. Then that was the Super Nintendo, it was all Super Nintendos. And then the Nintendo 64 came out with Clay Fighter
63 and a third.
63 and a third.
But there was a Blockbuster exclusive. I actually know the full background story on this because I really, really love Clay Fighter. That was my favorite game to rent, and I think I bought Tournament Edition actually for the SNES. It was just like a very fun game. And then I used to subscribe to Nintendo Power when I was a kid. That was the shit.
I had issue number 1.
I don't. I wasn't even born. But and they constantly showed footage of the N64 version of Clay Fighter 64. It was called at the time, just like everything else. And they showed the Statue of Liberty, the dog, Santa, Bad Santa.
Bad Santa.
Yeah, Bad Santa. Like all these crazy characters, and up until like the month of its release, they said this is like the roster, and like they showed screenshots of the character selection screen and everything. And then once Clay Fighter 63 and a third was finally released, it was completely different.
Yes.
And I was like, what the fuck? And then about 2 months later, they recovered the story in Nintendo Power, and they said that there was actually issues with the ESRB because it was too risque with the Statue of Liberty chick and Bad Santa, because they thought that it would give kids the wrong impression.
Yeah, but the game wasn't really geared to those kids.
Dude, I know this, you know this, everybody knows this, but Blockbuster, about a year and a half later, released a game called Clay Fighter 63 and a third Sculptor's Cut, and that was the original version of that game, with the Statue of Liberty, Bad Santa, the dog, whose name constantly escapes me, and everything. So that's the background story on the 64 version of Clay Fighter.
I think you might be a little bit more of a fan of Clay Fighter than I am at this point.
I am.
You're a Clay Fighter master. Master of Clay Fighting disaster. That's crazy, man. Maybe we should like showcase that. Maybe we'll do a video on that. Oh my god, that's crazy. But yeah, anyway, so back to the main original story was, if you guys aren't familiar with the company Interplay, that's what they were famous for. They did really well with that series. And
what else were they famous for?
They also did Fallout, the original Fallout. They were actually the guys responsible for the original Fallout.
That was the PS3 launch title, right?
Yes, they also did. They also co-produced and published Earthworm Jim, Baldur's Gate: Dark Alliance, Descent, and MDK, which was another great game. If you guys never heard of it, MDK was Murder, Death, Kill.
I wasn't allowed
like
to play
BTK?
And, yeah. Well, a lot of people. Well, you know what? It's funny. But originally, it wasn't. It was called. It was marketed at first as Murder, Death, Kill, but when it came out, they just sliced off Murder, Death, Kill and just called it MDK. But that game is really, really good. It's an action-adventure game. It was originally for the PS1 and the PC. It was an older PC game first.
Which game?
MDK. It is on Dreamcast. And Dreamcast is MDK2, and that game is phenomenal. Like, it's a great action-adventure game. I mean, you're pretty much like a science experiment. Like,